Hello everyone, Alexander Leonhem here. So I think I might be getting the hang of this video making at last. If I just keep looking through various news outlets, YouTube videos, and Twitter feeds, I'll inevitably find the perfect tinder to catch my creative spark. Now anyone who knows me knows that I love tabletop gaming. My first videos were about that, in fact. And while I haven't sworn off making those entirely for my own enjoyment, I just haven't had the motivation to do it. And since most of you are here because of my other video, I figured this train's already rolling, so might as well blow the whistle. The topic of male and female inequality comes up a lot. And I'm honestly very tired of hearing it. It's always about how men have it so much better than women, but it completely ignores the ways that women have it better than men. I went on Twitter for the first time in a couple days, I think, and I happened across this picture. This car was burned because a woman named Julia rejected a man. Cut and dry, right there. She rejected him, he burned her car. And I think we can all collectively agree to say, fuck that guy! I hope Julia gets a restraining order against him, I hope he goes to jail, and I hope he has to pay for her car and the 6 other ones that were caught in the crossfire. There happens to be a GoFundMe set up for Julia because her insurance won't replace the $27,000 car. Liability sucks. So I'll link that in the description in case anyone's feeling generous. Now I'd love to stop the video there. Person was an asshole. We can all agree that said person was an asshole. Help the victim. Have a nice day. But that wasn't what made me want to make the video. Now what really inspired me were the comments on the tweet. Now the original tweet starts with, "This infuriates me. Want to know why women have a fear of rejecting men? This right here." Now, an hour later, she adds on that it was wrong to generalize and that it can happen to all men and women. She also says non-binary, but I think that's stupid. I just didn't want to misquote her. She was just writing it while being emotional because she has had several accounts of misconduct from men occur to her. I feel like there's a saying for that. You know, like don't go grocery shopping while hungry. Don't speak publicly while mad. I don't know. But you get the point. I'm not condemning her. I'm just saying it's understandable. And I get all of this. I didn't even think of the first tweet as being a generalization. I just saw a human being being angry and worried about her close friend. Perfectly reasonable. But it was the responses that really got to me. Now, I'm not saying all the responses were bad. Of course, there were plenty of good ones, actually. But I'm just going to be pointing out the ones that I thought stuck out like a couple of rusty cannons on a sunken ship. The first one we have is, "Not wrong in the slightest. It doesn't have to be all men. It's enough men that it causes fear. Can we not just call out all the psychopaths like this one instead of just the male ones? I'm sorry and more than a bit ashamed." What the hell are you sorry for? Did you sell him the matches? Are you ashamed as being the same gender as Hitler? Are you proud of being the same gender as Einstein or Gandhi? I'm so sorry this happened to you, and especially to your friend. My heart breaks when I hear about this type of behavior. Women should never have to live in fear. Men need to take mandatory behavior classes when they renew their license plate registration. Okay, screw you. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. If someone thinks that this kind of behavior is okay, then a class is not going to make them suddenly realize what a bad person they are. Oh my god, I had no idea setting your car on fire wasn't the proper response. So I should have to waste my time because someone else is a disgusting human being? Really, there is no choice but to generalize. We guys need to understand that no matter how harmless we think our intentions are, there is no way for women to know which guy is a threat, or not. When they are following her, asking for her time, smile, number. Really, there is no choice but to generalize. We black people need to understand that no matter how harmless we think our intentions are, there's no way for people to know which black guy is a threat or not. If that slight change made the entire statement sound entirely wrong to you, then I think we're on the same page. It's not unfair to generalize a bit, to be honest. Boys, men, aren't properly taught how to process rejection/sadness, or to cultivate support groups via friends and family. As a result, their responses turn abusive, violent, because of insecurity leading to a fragile ego. Hope your friend is okay. There are some women who can't take rejection either, or will go crazy if their BF leaves them and starts keying their car, trying to blackmail them. So both genders can be crazy, although statistically it's more men that do this. Ladies, in the comments, please let me know how you are specifically taught to process rejection and sadness. You're allowed to generalize after all that shit. If guys have a problem with it, they'll try and make a change in the culture rather than use the bullshit, "Well, not all guys, I'm a good guy." That shit annoys me. No one is allowed to generalize. It's not okay to generalize women or people of color, but apparently it's okay to generalize men. That's a double standard, and you know it. 10 points to Bio 0. I really wish I had like a pointed hat and a fake beard so I could look more like Dumbledore when I said that. Stop wearing G-strings and revealing tops and caking your face with makeup, and maybe you won't get stalked. There's a solution. Okay, Halo to Creepy, I'm gonna guess he's either trolling or he's just an asshole, so we can say fuck him too. It has nothing to do with men. It has to do with shitty people being shitty people. The world is filled with assholes, men and women alike. Live with it. Though the ending is a bit crudely delivered. 10 points to King Bummer. Jesus, those men must be blind. You're not wrong. Anyone who believes the most important response to this horrific gestures of violence is not all men is a fucking sociopath. Okay, first of all, screw you, I'm not a sociopath. The voice is all set. Second, the response to him burning this woman's car is that he's a horrible human being. The response to making a generalized statement about men is not all men. There are two separate things being discussed here technically. They're not the same. Fragile egos are the cause of much trouble in the world. We're right, we need to teach our boys better ways to handle rejection. You're not wrong there. Unfortunately, most boys/men are still being taught that the better/actual healthy ways of dealing with rejection or emotional issues are signs of weakness to be rejected, lest they suffer further rejection or ridicule. It's beyond stupid how harmful this can be. Look, being told to man up isn't really that helpful. I think we can agree on that. It's pretty much what I was told when my brother was beating me up when I was little. But it's not like someone is setting their child down and saying, if a woman rejects you, you burn her car. That'll change your mind. This is horrific, and the person in question should be locked up. However, I've seen this behavior from both men and women. The latter often bragging about scratching an ex's car, smashing games/consoles, etc., which is seen as acceptable. This isn't a gender-specific issue. This response is part of the problem. How is this response a problem? Women do literally brag about these things. All this person is saying is stop calling out just men and instead call out all indecent human beings. This is awful. However, it's not a man thing. It's a psychopath thing. Like even the most desperate virgin will at worst go home and cry like a bitch after rejection. It takes someone with real mental problems to do this. 10 points to a man whose whole name I'm not saying. Oof, geez, this is tough. What makes it worse is that it's nothing to do with gender. Women do stuff like this as well. It all has to do with mental health and how a person handles rejection. Statistically, men do this more often than women. Can you provide any facts? This isn't really new knowledge, it's pretty undisputed. Men are more likely to kill both women they know and women they don't know than women are to kill men they know or do not know. Most of the people who do poorly in school are men. Most of the prison population is men. Most of the homeless population is men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who die in wars are men. And most people who commit suicide are men. I'm sorry you and so many other women have experienced something like this. You shouldn't have to be afraid to say no or to simply walk the street. We as men should help put a stop to this. Not necessarily beating them up, fun as it may be. Report, call it out, do something. You know, when I was in college, there was actually a number that anyone could call, and if you didn't feel safe walking home, and a member of the Mixed Martial Arts Club would come and escort you. To me, it sounds like people are doing something. And it's not just women who fear going out at night, and it's not exactly bad fearing going out at night. People suck. There are bad people. If I were to put on my most expensive looking clothes and carry a wad of money this big, and then go into a ghetto and just keep waving it in the air, I don't think anyone would be surprised that I got mugged. All people are saying is just don't be stupid, basically. And it's not victim blaming, it's also trying to make sure people are aware of what they're doing. I feel like I should loop back and say that that last bit doesn't really have anything to do with Julia, who got her car burned. She didn't do anything. I wish guys would cut this out. Being rejected sucks, but this is ridiculous. I've been rejected plenty of times. Married now, so that's behind me. But my reaction was usually me, oh, okay, that's cool. Walks off and starts crying. I'm pretty sure most men do just walk away. Maybe without the crying bit, but you get my point. Yes, individual people can also be shitty. But to deny that there's a problem with men is really bad, and continues to protect the structures that allow men to think they can act the way they do. Yeah, you're stretching it too far. There's not a problem with men. There's a problem with some humans, and how they develop some kind of dangerous tendencies throughout their life. No, don't not all men this. There are huge problems socially with men, and to deny that is to be a part of the problem, not the solution. Here's the problem I have with that line of thought. Point out that most violent crimes are committed by people of color, and you're rightfully called a racist. I don't think that's rightfully. I do think statistically that's true. That particular fact I haven't looked up before, but based on the last video you might understand. I believe it. Point out that it's men and it's considered okay. Why? Generalization is disgusting no matter who it's against. That's because racists stop thinking about the problem at people of colors committing crimes, rather than analyzing underlying systematic issues beneath the problem. Access to services, redlining, intersectional collisions with wealth inequality, exclusion from societal power structures, etc. Just go and watch my other video, and you'll know my opinion on that. And once again, we have Bio 0 with Understandable. Again, 10 points to Bio 0. Now, in response to protecting the structures that allow this, what structures are in place that are enabling men to think they can act this way? As I pointed out earlier, there is nothing indicating that we have a society enabling horrible men to exist. If you need a reminder, hop back 3 responses. I do not believe that people are inherently good. I just don't think it's true. I mean, for one, if it were, then it wouldn't be such a great and incredible thing when someone was nice to you. It would just be the natural order. Bad men exist. Bad women exist. Bad people exist. There's nothing that's going to be helped by painting all men as horrible people just because a majority of men commit a heinous crime. All it does is serve to further divide us, and it will be much easier and productive to pull everyone together in mutual hate of and interest in stopping these horrible human beings. Rather than say our society creates these bad men, maybe say what in our society you think creates them. Because I'm sorry, without a source, I'm not gonna fight a virtual boogeyman with you. But I will gladly stand arm to arm with you against actual, provable injustices. Have a nice day. Hello everybody, Alexander Leonhem again. If you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel perhaps, share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you again next time.